Well, the orchestra idea came literally from watching an orchestra performing, and I was watching all the different sections who were coming in and out at different times to make the complete piece of music. At the time, I was struggling to define what SRM was, and it seemed to be all things, yet different things at the same time, and that's really how I made the connection with the orchestra. I think part of the issue here is that people seem to hold very different meanings in the phrase SRM. So by comparing it to an orchestra, it helps us understand the different sections or types of intervention that might be needed at different times according to how important a supplier is. Well, making this happen in practice is in fact the hardest thing because it requires the entire organization to be aligned with one single approach. You see, SRM is an organization-wide concept. It's not something that exists within procurement. Without this, any SRM type initiatives could fail. It also requires the organisation to be really certain who the important suppliers are and also what makes them important, because if we know this, then we can design the different interventions which can be tailored to those particular specific supplier scenarios. Category management and SRM go hand in hand. They use many of the same tools and approaches, but each in different ways. Now, category management is a strategic approach that looks to maximizing the value across what you buy. And SRM is a strategic approach that looks to maximize the value according to who you buy it from. And by integrating these two approaches, then we've got the optimum strategic sourcing approach that covers both dimensions. Well, I thought long and hard about this because traditionally SRM approaches have tended to focus on the immediate supplier. However, the supply chain is also a host to lots of risk, lots of opportunity, and increasingly so organizations seek to develop corporate social responsibility initiatives as well. It felt that we really needed to include the supply chain within a book about supplier relationship management. Well, that depends, in fact. It is a bad thing if you are a supplier providing something that could be leveraged elsewhere in the marketplace, but if you have something of value, then SRM provides a means to engage and build a relationship with the support of the customer to the mutual benefit of both parties. In this second edition, we've taken lots of the feedback, lots of the learning that we've found from people who have been using the tools, using the approaches and the practices, and we've updated some of those, we've optimized some of those. We've also introduced a new concept called the 7 facets of SRM, where the orchestra of SRM sits in the center facet as if it's a precious stone, and surrounding that are the key components that connect with, enable and join up the orchestra so it works within the organization. This was there in the first edition, but it wasn't as clear as we now have presented it. And what it's done is it's helped provide better clarity as to how an organization can truly implement SRM and all the things that need to be joined up. Remember, SRM is an organization-wide approach. So the 7 facets concept is really key, really important. The other key difference is we've updated the way in which we segment and determine suppliers that are important and design the sort of interventions that support that. As well as that, we've worked on making sure that we're updating the context that this book exists within, especially as we now live in a post-Brexit Trump world. We've updated that to reflect some of the changes that are happening around us and how relevant SRM continues to be in this ever-changing world.